Today in our 2016 Chevrolet Equinox, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the eTrailer Class 3 Custom Fit Trailer Hitch Receiver, part number E98865. So here's what our hitch is going to look like once we have it installed. The cross tube is going to be hidden pretty much mostly by the lower bumper here, and right where that cutout is where our receiver tube is going to stick out. It's a Class 3 hitch, so it's going to give us that 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube opening. It's going to have a lot of different options for accessories that we can mount up. The way we're going to mount all of our accessories is through the hitch pin hole here on the side, and it is going to accept a standard 5/8 pin and clip. Now while these are not included in the kit, you can pick them up here at eTrailer.com. Our safety chain connection point is going to be a plate style welded to the bottom. We're not going to have any trouble getting most size hooks on or off, and the slight offset from the hitch pin hole means we're not going to have to worry too much about interference. As far as weight capacity goes, our hitch is going to have a 350-pound tongue weight, which is the maximum downward force at the receiver tube, along with a 3,500-pound gross trailer weight rating, which the Ematic can pull, including the trailer and everything we have loaded on it. Now it is ready for use with weight distribution systems as well, and that's going to bump the tongue weight up to 400 pounds and the gross trailer weight rating up to 4,000 pounds. But with all those numbers in mind, you should always double check your Equinox's owner's manual and never exceed the manufacturer's recommended weight. I'd like to give you a few measurements, and that's going to help you whenever you're looking at accessories for your new hitch, such as a ball mount, a bike rack, or even a cargo carrier. From the center of the hitch pin hole to the outermost edge of the bumper is going to be right about 4.5 inches. That measurement is going to come in handy when you're looking at folding accessories to make sure you have enough clearance and that it's not going to come in contact with the rear bumper. From the ground to the inside top edge of the receiver tube opening, it's right about 15.5 inches. That measurement is going to help you out whenever you're looking at ball mounts to find the appropriate rise or drop to match up to your trailer. So now that we've seen what our hitch looks like and gone over some of the features, let's show you how to get it installed. To begin our installation, we're going to come to the back of our Equinox, and we're going to have this panel right here that we're going to have to remove. So if we move to the inside on the edge of the panel, we'll have a couple clips that are holding it in place. You just want to bend that tab in towards the back and it'll release. Once we have those released, we can grab the panel and we can pull it out. It may help if you reach up and press in on those tabs that are holding it in place. And this is not going to be getting reinstalled. If we come to underneath our Equinox, right here at the back, we're going to have 2 threaded holes in the side of the frame on each side. Those are going to be our mounting locations. Now more than likely you're going to have a little bit of debris or rust in there, so you want to take some spray lubricant and spray it inside the hole. Then I'm going to come back with a nylon tube brush. I'm going to clean it out to make sure that we don't have any rust or debris and the bolts won't cross thread when we put them in. You want to make sure you clean out both holes on each side. Then we can grab one of the bolts from our kit and make sure that we can easily thread it in by hand and at least get it started. Now when we do go to put our hitch up, we're going to take one of our bolts and a conical tooth washer. And you want to make sure that those teeth are facing towards the hitch. It'll go through the hitch and into the frame. Now it's going to be the same combination of hardware for each hole in the side of the frame. Now with an extra set of hands, we'll lift our hitch up. We're going to line up the holes in our hitch with the holes in the side of the frame. You want to make sure you get at least one bolt started on each side. That way the hitch will help support itself and we can get the rest of the hardware in place. I'm going to come back with a 19mm socket. I'm just going to snug up all my hardware. Now in the center of our hitch, on the bottom of our bumper beam, we're going to have a hole on each side of the receiver tube. We're going to want to grab our pull wire We're going to feed it in through the hitch and into the bumper beam. And we're going to want to feed our wire over towards the outside of the vehicle. It may help if you put a small bend in it to kind of help guide it. We're going to feed it in, and we're going to feed it all the way towards the outside edge to where the wire comes out. That's going to come out right at the edge of your bumper beam here. Now to help us out, I'm just going to put a bend on the end just so that it doesn't get pulled back through. And you want to make sure you leave the tail still sticking out the original hole we put it in. We'll take a square hole spacer block. We're going to slide it over the coiled end of our wire. Put it inside the bumper beam. Then we're going to take a carriage bolt and we'll thread it onto the end of our wire. Now you want to be careful with the wire because they do only provide us one. But once you have everything threaded on, we'll push our bolt back into the bumper beam and we'll pull on our wire. So we have our bolt dropping down through the hitch, and we'll carefully remove the wire, and we'll do the same thing on the other side and fish our bolt in. Once you have both pieces in, we can grab our flange nuts, and it may help if you kind of pull down on the fascia a little bit so you can get your hand in there. And we're going to loosely attach our flange nuts to those bolts. Just want to be careful not to push it back in. So if you can get your hand in there to kind of trap the bolts a little bit, makes it a little bit easier to start that nut. So we're going to come back with a 3/4 inch or a 19mm socket and snug up the nuts, and it will help if you have an extension so we can reach in there. Now we're going to come back with a torque wrench, and we're going to torque all of our hardware down to the specified amount in the instructions. You want to make sure you repeat that for any remaining hardware. That'll finish up your look at the eTrailer Class 3 Custom Fit Trailer Hitch Receiver, part number E98865 on our 2016 Chevrolet Equinox.